Delhi, the nation's capital, is the largest commercial centre of northern India. Delhi has the advantage of its cosmopolitan society, where there are people from every nook and corner of India. It is the capital of the world's largest democracy. Delhi is a world-class city, and the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, also known as the DMRC, have made this statement clearer by introducing the Delhi Metro. With taxi and auto fares going up due to never-ending inflation, city buses are most used and get overcrowded by the day. The Delhi Metro is like an oasis in the middle of the desert. It's the cheapest, fastest and the most convenient means to get around the city. Now travelling from one corner of the city to the other is just a metro ride away. The DMRC introduced their Phase 1 in 2002. It consists of 3 routes: Shahadra to Rithala, Central Secretariat to Vishwavidyalay and Indraprastha to Dwarka Sector 9. These routes sum up to a total of 65 kilometers and 58 stations. Phase 2 was introduced in 2006. It consists of 10 routes: Shahadra to Dilshad Garden, Indraprastha to Noida City Centre, Yamuna Bank to Anand Vihar, Vishwavidyalay to Jahangir Puri, Indralok to Mundka, Central Secretariat to Huda City Centre, Dwarka Sector 9 to Dwarka Sector 21, the Airport Express Line, Anand Vihar to Vaishali, and Central Secretariat to Badarpur. These routes sum up to a total of 125 kilometers and 85 stations. Pratibha Industries has been assigned to build the Phase 3, comprising of 3 underground routes, which will include Janpath to Mandi House, South Extension to Bikaji Kama Place, and Kalkaji to Chirag Delhi. The latest tunnel boring technology was implemented in the construction of this phase. CC01 starts at Central Secretariat Station, making its way towards Janpath. The whole route has been constructed underground using the tunnel boring machine. The tunnel passes beneath 3 major skyscrapers: the Antariksh Bhavan, American Centre and Kailash Building. Finally, it reaches Mandi House. CC18 consists of a route from the South Extension to Bikaji Kama Place. Pratibha Industries would be making 4 stations in this route comprising of 8.7 kilometers, which includes South Extension, INA, Sarojini Nagar and Bikaji Kama Place. CC23 consists of a route from Kalkaji to Chirag Delhi, which include Kalkaji, Nehru Place, GK Enclave, Panchsheel Park, Chirag Delhi. 14 meters below the active city, this tunnel boring machine digs through the earth, paving the way for the newest edition of the Delhi Metro. Pratibha Industries has installed multiple of these massive machines to match DMRC's deadlines. The first part of the tunnel boring process is the tunnelling phase. The tunnel boring machine has a cutting wheel which is pressed against the tunnel face by hydraulic cylinders. Inside the cutting wheel, the disc cutters and scraping tools loosen the materials. The material excavated is taken away on a conveyor belt. It is then loaded onto rail wagons and transported to the surface. Once the tunnelling phase is done, the cutting wheel and screw conveyor stops and the ring building phase begins. A complete tunnel ring consists of 5 segments made of pre-built reinforced concrete. They must match the exact size required, after which the machine then lifts these segments and lines them up for the feeder. These are made at a factory above. The segment feeder feeds in the concrete segments and they are lifted to put into place using the casting machine. Once the segment is lifted, it is taken to be positioned. It is bolted to the other segments of the ring. The casting arm retracts and the machine repeats the same step. The hydraulic cylinders are temporarily retracted to provide enough space to the new segment. The segments are positioned with millimeter precision and held in place by cylinders before being finally bolted into position. The conical keystone is put in from the front to complete the lining ring. Each individual tunnel ring is built in a slightly conical form, so that a curve can be built along the tunnel route. Once every section of ring building is complete, the next tunneling phase begins.
TBM है, tunnel boring machine. We are doing mining and per day we are doing 10 rings. 1.4 मीटर का एक segment होता है. Approximate 14 to 15 मीटर हम लोग per day mining करते हैं. This is the section of Mandi House to Janpat.
Pre-built reinforced concrete segments are built at a 50-acre yard located 10 kilometers away from the tunneling site.
ये हमारा प्रतिभा का कास्टिंग यार्ड है। इसमें हम लोगों को 3 पार्ट में हमने डिवाइड किया हुआ है। ये हमारा केज फैब्रिकेशन यार्ड है। केज फैब्रिकेशन यार्ड में हमारा सबसे पहले कटिंग होता है। कटिंग होने के बाद बेंडिंग उसमें हम लोग करते हैं। बेंडिंग करने के बाद रोलिंग होता है, जो भी हमारा रिक्वायरमेंट होता है एज पर VBF। उसके बाद हमारा ये सारा बेंडिंग और रोलिंग स्टील होता है, ये पर हमारे जिग मशीन पर जाता है। जिग मशीन जो हमारा है वो हमारा प्रोफाइल सेगमेंट के हिसाब से हम लोगों ने रेडी किया हुआ है। तो इसके बाद फिर हम लोग पूरा केज रेडी करते हैं। केज रेडी करने के बाद हम लोग कास्टिंग यार्ड में इसको लेते हैं।
Concrete in the TM machines is poured into segment molds. Once the concrete has been poured into the molds, it is shutter vibrated for 3 to 4 minutes.
वाइब्रेट करने के बाद हम लोग उसको पूरा फिनिशिंग के लिए छोड़ देते हैं। तो 1.5 आवर के बाद उसका हम फिनिशिंग कंप्लीट कर देते हैं।
After demolding the cast, the segments are lifted using either a vacuum lift or a scissor lift. Each of these segments are put on to turning machines for turning. The segments are then shifted to the stacking yards. As per the requirements of the tunnel boring site, dispatch trucks deliver the segments. This is the INA station building, made in the phase 2 of DMRC. The existing station has the ticketing level below the surface, and under that lies the platform. Since the existing station tunneling is already 14 meters below ground, Pratibha would be creating the new tunnel line between the existing line and the surface. Minor miscalculations would mean crashing into the existing tunnel below or the city above. The tunneling platform and the concourse level are on the same level of this route. The proposed ticketing section of Phase 3 is connected to the existing platform level. The process of station building construction involves marking out the diaphragm wall. The construction methodology adopted here is bottom to top. Once the D wall is marked, hydrophrase machines are used to dig 14 meters into the earth. Once the machines finish their activity, steel cages are made ready to be filled inside by large cranes. Once the diaphragm wall is ready, excavation begins at the site. The earth is dug, making a large shaft to build the station. bottom to top construction method involves the construction of the platform level first, then the concourse level, and then the entry level at the surface in the end. A boom placer is used to transfer concrete from the TM to build each station level. Thousands of workers work around the clock, digging, mining, welding and drilling. Almost 6 months and 1.5 kilometers later, it's finally time to see light at the end of the tunnel. The moment that everyone has been waiting for, the breakthrough.
CC01 completed! After completion of this tunnel work, we are now confident that we will be able to execute all the similar kind of these tunneling projects which are planned, which will be upcoming in other cities like Mumbai, Kochi, Ahmedabad, Lucknow.
On completion of the breakthrough, the MD of DMRC, Mangu Singh himself, visits the site for inspection. This gives a great boost to companies like Pratibha Industries for having the topmost personnel present and sharing his insights on such an important achievement.
We are the first Indian company who has successfully completed underground tunneling without any help from foreign hand. Entire tunneling team is indigenous. There are various stakeholders like shop owners and various small business people who are doing business in this particular area. So we'll have to win their confidence to execute such projects, okay, without any hindrances. Entire team effort is the success of the project. Let it be TBM operator, TBM helper, and people working on underground finishing works. Everyone is putting their best. We are going to complete 5 months ahead of the schedule. So all said and done, December is the target date for handing over both the stations and tunnel, everything to DMRC. This is a marvelous achievement. So far in DMRC history, no contractor could ever deliver it.
We at Pratibha are proud of the achievement of our entire team. It was our proud privilege to be associated with the construction of such challenging and prestigious project in the heart of India's capital. I would sincerely like to thank all the stakeholders, including DMRC, our vendors, our subcontractors, our bankers and the entire staff members for contributing to the success of this project. It will be Pratibha's continued endeavor to construct challenging infrastructure project for the betterment of our society and development of our nation.